Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome to week 7 of our training here. No, Pete Ramsey has not completely got a face lifted and changed. He is out traveling. We expect him hopefully at some point here to pop in, but I think he's visiting his mother, so he's got some weird internet stuff, so I had to log on as him. So yeah, we're here day 7, completely excited about this, fired up. I know Tori is. If my technology works tonight, not like last night, this should be really good. So I'm going to basically go into a little bit, review what I talked about at the end last night. Then I'm going to show you some examples. And then after that, we're just going to have Tori hop on and she's going to get into the rest of the meat for tonight. So let me go ahead and share. Okay, can we see my screen now? Are we good, Tori?
We're good.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to speed through this initial part here, folks, because I kind of already talked about this last time, but I do want to set it up. It'd be weird just to go into the examples. So as I mentioned, we have this problem. So we need to sell our products and services through social media, and we need to do it without being slimy, obnoxious, or pushy. So we've got to figure out that way to do this and not seem really salesy. So a couple nights ago, we talked about how all of our prospects, they're basically asleep out there. And we have to get them to engage with us. So how do we get them to engage with us? Well, we do some fun social media posts, we do videos, we do some blogging. We're kind of basically in a friendly, fun way saying, you know, come look at me. We're here, look at me. And of course, we engage with them. So at this point, they're noticing us, right? So what now? So we've noticed them, haven't really gone after them, but this is where we make the big mistake in social media. We have their attention, so we go and we vomit all over them. We start hitting them with the salesy stuff. Use our service. Buy my, just go after them in a big way. But we've really failed in our step here because this isn't the correct way to go about it. As we mentioned, the formula is to figure out how to turn that engagement into a connection and then make that connection into dollars. So when we jump right to the offer, it's really a big no-no because we're scaring them away. And the reference I made last night, you see the attractive guy or girl at the bar, you run right over there and you propose marriage, they're going to run off. So we don't really want to do that. We need to basically grow this connection. Connect is shared pain and shared possibility. We have to figure out how to connect with them. Again, I used the example last night. People tend to group together that have shared the same pain and are looking for the same possibility. The veterans, the women, the men, they all tend to group together when we go to any of these network events or something like that. So we have to figure out how to connect into that. As remember, the connection portion is where we introduce our story, okay? But it's not the story that we think it is. It's their story, as I mentioned, must become your story. People want to talk about themselves. They don't want to talk about you. We tend to, when we get online and we project our story, we're almost thinking that about us page that we see online, where we're basically spewing everything we do as a contractor, you know, family owned, around for 500 years, we do quality work, and none of that stuff sticks. That's not the way to connect. We connect with them through their story. So I want to show you an example of what Tori and I did. Now, she's used this example a couple times in earlier trainings. This is a client that I've been working with for a few months, and I brought Tori in October, and we started working with them. Now, what this contractor does is he does all of the inspection repairs on homes that are going to sell. Now, our clients are real estate agents. So we have to figure out how are we going to talk to real estate agents in a way where we're talking their story. So what we're doing is we first sat down, we said, okay, how do we get into the brain of these real estate agents, figure out what's bothering them? What can we trigger? So we went to market with this type of a scenario. We went to and we said, okay, real estate agents, after you go out there and you get the home inspection on a house, there becomes this big void. They have to call a whole bunch of contractors. They have to waste their time calling people, or the homeowner does. They have to then meet them on the site to do the actual quotes. Then they have to meet them on the site to do it. It's just this big scramble of a bunch of people running in and out. It wastes their time like you don't believe. That's the big pain point. So everything we did in the marketing was talking about their pain points. We went into their story. We never once talked about how great we were and how long we've been around. It was always, here's all the problems you have. Then we went in and we said, look, it's this easy. You get that home inspection report, you get that objections, all you do is email it to us. In 24 hours, you're gonna get a quote back of every single thing line itemed out. Boom, done, no headache. They can schedule 1, 2, or 3 of the repairs. That's how we went to market doing this stuff. We made our story the complaint they had in their story. We didn't talk about how great we were. We talked about their pain points and how we solved that. See, it's a little bit of a different thinking when we're out there trying to connect. This is connecting with those real estate agents in a unique way. I want to show you a couple ways we can kind of get this down to HVAC. Now, here's something I actually pulled offline. This is a Train clean effects unit. And this is basically what the ad was scrolling through. Now, is there any type of a connection there? I've always challenged when distributors do this stuff is, does a homeowner even know what that is? I mean, they really don't. So if you're posting this online and all it really says underneath it is something like, need an air cleaner, call us, they're just going right through their feed and they're gonna end up getting annoyed. They're gonna unfollow you or unfriend you because there's no connection there. All we've done is engage them and then blah, sent our stuff out. It doesn't work. What's another way to do this? Well, look at this. We've got a little sneezing girl here. Allergies making your family bowl. We hear you. Click on the link below for our free 4-part video series on how to end allergy problems in your home once and for all. So now we have a more of an engaging picture here. And do you see anything there salesy? It's not. We're actually offering to give them information on their problem. We haven't even asked them for any sale. This is a lot less threatening. Is there a more of a connection here with somebody that we've engaged with? Of course there is, because they're not seeing us as being salesy. They're seeing us as trying to help them, connect with them. Here's another ad you see out there. Our boy Dave Lennox here, we see him everywhere. Lennox is extremely proud of Dave Lennox and his overalls. But again, what's the connection? Here's you've got a whole bunch of stuff sitting out there. If this came up in my feed and I'm your average homeowner, again, who is this guy? Is he into is he into AC? Is he a water heater guy, plumber? Is he work for Home Depot? Who is he? I don't know, and I'm not connecting with this guy. So again, I just ignore it. What if we went with something like this? Are you forced to turn down your thermostat to save money? Well, click below for our free report on how to save money on all your utilities. Again, we're trying to connect with them and we're trying to help them move forward. So we've engaged them. Now we do this through connection. And all this free report and the free videos, we're going to talk to you about that tonight, so you're going to understand that a little bit better and how all that works. But this type of a connection is the way you have to think. That little screen right there with the family freezing there in their house and the other girl, Tori has talked about the website Canva. I created those in about 2 minutes each. That's a lot better of a connection than the crap that the manufacturers say, go ahead and run this type of an ad. That's going to connect with people because it's going to make you feel like a real person. So I want to go back one more time to inspection resolution general contractors. So we've been running this campaign for a little while, and I want to show you the results. And I know I was teasing Tori with this earlier. I haven't told her this. Does connecting with this type of story work? Well, their sales in October were $32,000. We started our campaign October 10th. Their November, again, this takes a little time, so it wasn't like turning on a dot, but their November sales are 46% or 46,000 so far. This is a time in the season where this company's business should be trending down. It's trended down every year, and it's up. Their quote requests are up 300%. And the big news that came today, so I'm kind of glad my presentation, he actually, through some of our marketing and being noticed and getting referrals, He signed a deal with a big restoration company that he starts in December, and it's going to be about 50 to 80,000 per month in revenue. This is a campaign that started in the beginning of October, and we follow virtually all of these connecting steps. Here's a little quote from the owner. Stories love it. Here's a little quote from the owner. The turnaround the last 3 weeks has been staggering. Now he's got these big saucers in his eyes going like, how do I handle all this work? I'm like, that's the greatest problem to have, brother. So when you start to construct your story to connect to people instead of just blowing your offer at them, then you can move them forward to the offer. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and stop my share. If you guys have any questions, you can let me know before we go into Tori's one. Does anybody have any questions for me on what I just covered there? I love it when I do a great job. Cool. Everybody understands it. Love it. Okay, Tori, so it is on to you and your stuff. Take it away. I can't wait to see what you're kind of actually come up with us today. You're still muted there. You're muted.
There we go. Now can you see my screen?
Yep, I can see you. Now, do you see why I was mad that I couldn't get my presentation up last night? Was that fun or what?
I'm glad you feel better.
You feel better.
I've got all this control tonight. So, okay, there we go. All right. So I am going to talk to you about how to get in front of people with those stories that get connection, that connect you with everybody. And it's a little bit different than you might think. And this is my very favorite part of social media advertising, because the power that you have is actually unbelievable. So we're going to do a little bit of background and show you where actually you put your offer. And we're going to go more into offer probably a little bit tomorrow. So how do you actually sell on social media? And the thing is that you don't actually sell on social media. What you do is you lead with value. And value is these connecting stories that you talk to people. Value is those reports that you give. Value is the way that you get in front of people. And so I'm going to show you how a couple of companies have done that and how you can do that as well. So what you want to do is use the target audience that Facebook has already built for you so that you get in front of the right people at the right time. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And the magic of this is through the Facebook Pixel. And we talked last week a little bit about the Facebook Pixel, and we're going to go a little bit more into actually how that works for other companies, and how that can work for every single company, including any small HVAC company in any town. It can work for you as well. So first, let's talk about what this pixel is. The pixel is actually just a little piece of tracking code that you put on your website that connects your website to Facebook. And you can put it on any website that you have. Anything that you own, you can put it out there. And then the pixel is also on Facebook, and there's one actually on LinkedIn as well called an Insights tag, that anytime anybody comments, shares, or engages with anything that you put out on Facebook, Facebook is actually tagging them and building an audience for you. So remember, I told you, you got to post all this stuff and you got to network. This is why. It is actually building an audience of people. And these are people that now know you. They are not sleeping anymore. They like you. They're starting to trust you. If you've posted some of these things, they're starting to see your personality. They're starting to see what you're about. And we always want to build that know, like, and trust. And that's what we've been doing with all of these things. And so now you have that pixel that even if you don't do anything right now, Facebook is building an audience of everybody that's liked or shared things that you have put out. And you've probably seen this with other businesses and maybe just didn't know what happened. So We talked about that. So the pixel allows you to then target offers to them, and I'm going to show you how that actually works. So a company that I really like is this company called Let's Make Art. What they do is they offer free tutorials. Everything they offer is, all these tutorials, there's hundreds of them. It's amazing what they offer for free. So they offer free tutorials on YouTube. They also put them on Facebook. They put them all over the place. That is their freebie. And included in these tutorials, which remember you could do tutorials too, there was a video series that Dennis talked about that you could do. So I'm trying to put this around your head of things that you could do as well. So they have free tutorials, and then they offer you a PDF that helps you do whatever the tutorial is. So if they have a painting tutorial of an elephant, they give you the download, they give you all the instruction, everything, and they give it to you for free. So what happens is that you go to their website to download the tutorial, the PDF, which would be the same thing if you had something on your website. So free video, a PDF resource, and then you get ads. So this is what it looks like. You go to the free video, which this could be anything that you put out. You get the free PDF, so that's what you would deliver, some type of resource to them. And then Facebook instantly shows them ads. So these people that are seeing the ads are warmed up and ready to go. They know you already. So while you're putting out all of this information and getting people to like and share, you can actually put these connecting story things in front of people right away. So this is something that you could try and see what happens, and it'll pull up on your Facebook feed as well. So this is the ad. I went to their website, and within like a couple minutes went back to Facebook, and this ad was shown to me. So I'm already primed and ready, and this is something that you can do as well. But notice that there's still, that they haven't really sold too much. They're still trying to, get you warmed up, and this is what you want to do as well. So the other way that you can use Facebook is that you can actually target people based on interest. So that means anytime anybody types in or likes or shares anything in regards to a specific topic, you can actually target Facebook ads towards them as well. So if you were, the realtor example is a really good one. If you had somebody that was searching for homes in the area, or any type of properties or things, if they did that in your area, you could actually target ads to them. So there's some thought that has to go around exactly who you're trying to target. And then we think about, well, what are those people searching for right now? Well, maybe they're searching for, remodeling their house, or maybe they're searching for buying a new home. There's different things that are going to be for your market. So we got to start thinking about those types of things. So let me show you how this works. I went to this website called Wantable. It is a website regarding, it's like a subscription service for clothes. And within minutes, I went back to Facebook, and I was bombarded with all these different businesses I have never heard of that have a similar business than Wantable that started showing me ads, because they knew I was primed and ready for that. And then they showed me more, and they showed me more. So this is something that you can do as well. This power is in your hands as well on Facebook. So you can make Facebook work for you with these types of things. So what do? The first thing that you have is a funnel. And I don't know if any of you are really knowing what a funnel is. So let me describe just a little bit. It's just getting people into your business. Usually it starts with getting an email, and I'm sure you've all signed up for something. Maybe you signed up to get a 10% coupon, and they said, put in your email and we'll send it to you. So whenever you get that email, that's when you're starting. So when Dennis was talking about those connecting stories that you're doing and saying, this is how you could lower your heating bill, and you're going to send them that PDF, you trade that for an email. So you get their email, and then they start to go into your funnel. So then you send them, so you give them the content, engaging content on Facebook, and that will pixel them. And then when you give them your email, that gets them into your funnel. A little bit confusing there. Okay, so without these things, you're treading water just a little bit. So let me start over here just a little bit. So you put content out on Facebook that people like and share. Then when you have the freebie offer to put out to people, like the one that Dennis showed with lowering your bills, people would sign up for that, and they will get, you will deliver that, and that's what gets them into your funnel. Okay, so let's talk about how to get people into your funnel. And this is the freebie offer that Dennis was talking about. So you want to give somebody something, a low barrier to entry that has a high perceived value. So when somebody wants to lower their bills, that is a high perceived value to them. You don't want to give them anything that's too overly complicated. Usually easy things really work for people. So some of those things are videos or checklists or guides. So some ideas that I was thinking of is that you could give people a winterization checklist. You could give them 5 ways to reduce their summer energy bill, maybe a video tutorial on how to change their filter. How about like 5 must-ask questions before you hire an HVAC person? And you can try coupons and offers. So these are ways that you can get people to give you their email. So your freebie offers, you want to put those everywhere. You can put those on your website. You can put them on your social media, both on your LinkedIn. And you also can run ads with these freebie offers in there to people who are primed and already know you. So you don't want to send people directly to your website to get the freebie offer though, because then there's all different things that people can click on. And so you want to put your freebie offer on a landing page. And all a landing page is it's a page that all they can do is sign up for your offer. There's no navigation at the top. There's no other choices. It's sign up or leave. And so once you get your email, that is when the sales can actually start. They know who you are. They already like and trust you because you've led with value, and then you can start an email sequence to them. And the cool thing about email sequences is it's not like you have to be there every week sending them an email. All of these things can be automated. So you could set up as many as you wanted. You could set up 10 emails to go out once a week to these people, and then you can start to introduce your offers and actually sell to them. Because if they've already downloaded something for you, it means they have an interest in your product already, so they're primed and ready to actually make a purchase. And so once you get them into email, and I'm sure all of you have had this happen to you before, you sign up for something and then you get that weekly email from them until you decide to unsubscribe from them, or perhaps you buy from them. So this is an example of what like an email sequence can look like. You send them their, whatever it is, the freebie offer that they wanted, like a PDF of winterization. And then they just start getting emails from you once a week. So this is one of the ones that we have for inspection resolution. So on their website and on their social media, you can go and sign up for the 10 most common inspection items that can hold up closing and how to fix them fast. So this is what the whole funnel looks like. People would click on there, then they would go to a landing page, and notice there's no navigation. It's very simple. And when they put in their email address, this gets sent to them. So they go to a thank you page, and then instantly this gets sent to them, and then they go on that email sequence. So once you start the sales process and once you start to email them, telling them about things that you have, they're ready to get them. So rather than, going out and say, buy my thing, you lead with value first, and you try to enter that conversation that's going on with them. So you got to think, what do they want? Like, are their bills too high and they want to lower their energy bill? Dennis, do you have some other ways that they could enter that conversation and kind of start to?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the big key here is what we're not saying is lead with this valuable freebie and then start hitting them with sales stuff. That's not what we do here. What we do is we sign up for this, and then the next thing we sent them is something more of value to that particular prospect. Like, our prospects here are real estate agents. We're going to send them an email saying what to do when inventory is low, or how a real estate agent can network to get more referrals. So they're constantly getting these emails from us that are helping them. And of course, at the very bottom of each email, we're doing a very gently call to action, explaining our services. But the main thing is the value that we're giving. So when we're thinking about things for HVAC, sit down and think about what are the top things that your prospects are worrying about, okay? Are they worried about getting ripped off by a contractor? Could we create a guide for them that shows, check on these things to make sure you ripped off? Is it, like I mentioned there, is just going out and creating a PDF that shows them how to save on their utility bills in every area, just not HVAC, your top water bill, all this stuff. and then create a nice little report and sending them out to them, and then you get them in your sequence. Is it indoor air quality? Whatever it is that's really top of mind. Is it home safety? Whatever it is that's top of mind, that's going to get them to trigger to get this stuff, and then follow up, because you're going to be the friendly guide. This is about more connecting and then gently offering stuff. So there really is a lot of stuff. Think about, what are the top questions you always get asked by homeowners? Is it how to program a thermostat? Could be. Could you send them videos saying how to program your thermostat? Possibly. There's so many different ways that you could monetize this through the freebies that they're going to think are valuable.
Right. So Dennis definitely described that much better. So when I said that you sell to them, that's definitely not all that you do. But notice that no offer was ever made prior to this. We actually got them to like us first. Then when you're delivering more value, every time they get an email from you, they're like, wow, I'm getting all of this great content. And then they start wanting to open your emails because you're constantly delivering more value to them. Then lower in the email, or every once in a while you can send something that does offer something, but you do it in what you call like a under the radar type of way, so that you're never being salesy or sleazy or slimy, and people feel good about it. By the time they get some of these emails, and like I said, they already know, like, and trust you. They obviously have an interest in what you're talking about, because you're not talking about the Lennox guy. You're talking about things that they actually care about. By the time they start to get these emails, they are going to be ready to buy from you because they trust you. So I'm going to show you how to set a little bit of this up. Dennis, do you want to go over anything else before I'm going to kind of show in Facebook and show in LinkedIn just where to find these things?
No, pretty well.
Awesome. All right. Get back over here. All right, so last week we talked a little bit about the Facebook pixel, and I wanted to show you where you can find your Facebook pixel so that you can actually put this on your website. And this is something that I definitely suggest that everybody does, and so I'm going to show you how to find that. So you just go into Facebook, and into the search bar at the very top, you type in Ads Manager. Though you can boost posts, that's not where you should actually make ads. Ads Manager has a lot more power, and that's where ads are actually created for Facebook. There's very rare times that I would ever actually tell you to boost a post. You actually want to create ads in the Ads Manager. So to get to the Ads Manager, you just type in Ads Manager. It's very simple. And then it pulls up another window that's your Ads Manager. And so to get to your pixel, you're going to want to do the 9 little dots at the top. And then you're going to want to go all the way down to where it says Events Manager. And when you click there, I already have mine set up. So yours might look a little bit different. It might just say Set Up Pixel. So once you set up the pixel, then you just click on it. And it's going to say, once you set it up, it'll say Install Pixel. And so that's going to give you that little bit of code. And it's not going to look like, anything. Like if you look at it, it's just a whole bunch of code. And then you could just give that to your web designer and say, put this in the header of my website. And then it's done. So that means that every single person that goes to your website, so think of all those Google searches that you're already getting, all of those people, once they hit your website, and a lot of those people are probably searching and researching and trying to find somebody, because that's when people are ready to shop. That's usually what they do first, is that they go and research people. So when they hit your website, that means that Facebook will pixel them, is what it's called. And then when they come back into Facebook, if they're on Facebook, and most people, in the homeowner age bracket, most of them are, Facebook can show them an ad if you have ads running. It's an amazing process. And I know all of you have probably seen this happen where ads seem to kind of follow you. Like once you go to a website, then you go to all these different websites or to Facebook, and you see ads for them. So the Facebook pixel is how people do the ones on Facebook. And then there's some for Google as well that you can do similar things. That's a whole nother story. And then you can also do this on LinkedIn. So in LinkedIn, when you go to the main page, you want to click Work. And Work is going to take you all the way down, and you want to go to, let's see, I can't see. Let me scoot some of these things over. And it won't let me scoot anything over. There we go.
Your screen's too full.
My screen's too big. All right, so you want to go to advertise. All right, so once you go to advertise, go back over here. That is going to send you to the campaign manager. And so the campaign manager is where you would do ads for LinkedIn. And that's where your insights tag is as well. Because just like Facebook, you can run ads on LinkedIn. So if you have people going to your website, you can actually target them the exact same on LinkedIn. So then you would, if you need to, you can click create an account. And if you already have an account, you just click the name of your account. And then it'll come up another page, and then under account assets is insight tag. So you do have to set up a little bit of an account here, whereas in Facebook, it does it a little bit, but it's really easy. It takes maybe 5 minutes, if that. And again, you just send this code to your website people, and you'll have that on your website as well. So I would say, even if you're not planning on running ads right now, this is invaluable to put on your website just in case, because Facebook and LinkedIn both keep that data for a year. Oh, you paused yourself.
There we go.
There we go.
How would you say somebody wanted, say a HVAC company wanted to use LinkedIn more as recruiting of possible new employees, like maybe new technicians? Is there a way to use the site stuff to kind of, so when you run an ad, you can maybe target it towards technicians that you're already connected with on LinkedIn?
Absolutely. There's lots of targeting that you can do inside of LinkedIn. It's very similar to Facebook where they have demographics. The thing about LinkedIn is that you can do it by job title, whereas Facebook, they don't really, the job title isn't something that's really important. It's more, like I told you, that interest-based or whether you've actually engaged with them. But on LinkedIn, you can actually advertise within job title and whether they're connected to you, and if the location that they're at. So you can get pretty highly targeted if you're looking for specific job titles there.
And then if you just say you just ran an ad on LinkedIn for HVAC technicians, does LinkedIn know to send that to people you already know if you're just running a random ad?
So the ads will go up inside of a feed. So it kind of, you want to have a big enough pool to show ads for. So if you were only connected to 10 or 20 HVAC people, that might not be a big enough pool to just show it to them. So I think that the job title and the location is a little bit more important, just because they have to have a big enough audience to show it to.
That makes sense. Good deal.
All right. So like I said, I would highly, highly, highly suggest that all of you go through the 5 minutes on Facebook and the 5 minutes on LinkedIn and get both of those set up. And there's going to be a replay on, I know Pete's going to put it on YouTube and I think on Facebook as well. So you can just go play this part of the video and then pause it, do it, pause it, do it, and it's super easy for you to do. Like I said, the data is saved for a year, so even if you're not planning on doing this right now, you can have Facebook and LinkedIn starting to kind of build that audience for you.
Just out of curiosity, is it Tori, is there like on there, because I don't know, there's some HVAC guys, they just have their website built and they don't per se have a website person. Is it easy enough to do where anybody can do it?
It matters, like if they have a website in WordPress, then it is. There's plugins that you can just download and or upload onto your website to do that. If your website is built in something else, or you have like an old HTML website, it is a little bit harder. This is something that you can hire somebody for, under $100 to put both of these on there, if that's something that somebody needed somebody to do.
You're probably going to get a lot of messages after this. Sorry, can you look up my pixel?
Yeah, it definitely doesn't take too long. Some of the different, like every website's a little bit different. So if somebody's not familiar with your website, it might take them a little bit to find it. But like I said, if you do have somebody that has designed your website, then they'll definitely know exactly where to put it.
Perfect.
So the top 3 mistakes for this is not understanding the power that you have to advertise. Second is not following through and just getting this set up. And third is just thinking that maybe it's just for other businesses and it's not for you. Like, it is for you. These are the ways that you advertise online. It's a little bit different. You kind of got to change your mindset a little bit to kind of wrap your head around it. But I think once you hear this, it's like one of those things that once you hear it, like, you'll start to see it everywhere and you'll be like, oh, that's what they're doing. Oh, and then I sign up and then I get an email, and you'll kind of see how this starts to work. So I want you to kind of look for where you'll find these things, and kind of, you can deconstruct what other companies are doing. Because whether it's, everybody's on Amazon does the exact same thing. You search for something and then all of a sudden they show it to you again, or they send you an email and say, you looked at this thing. It's the same kind of way that they're targeting you with these things. And so the big thing is knowing that you don't want to just go out there and say, hey, look at me, hey, buy my stuff. But actually connecting with people and actually figuring out what their problems are and what things they're going through, because I don't think you sometimes realize the answers that you have, and it might be more simple than you think. Sometimes we overthink what these things are. People are looking for answers to questions, and for HVAC, I mean, things like your bills or things like doing simple DIY, or like Dennis said, not getting ripped off. These are things that people really worry about. And so these are answers that they're looking for. And so if they're looking for these things, you can provide that to them. So let's see if there's any questions. Does anyone want to unmute themselves and ask anything for Dennis and I?
We actually have a couple of questions in the chat.
Okay.
Jermaine asks, should we use hashtags to help target specific people?
So you can. Hashtags are helpful when people are searching for things, or like we showed yesterday, people are following different things. So if you're posting things about like reducing energy costs or something, you can hashtag those, and that way, if people are searching for them, they'll easily find them. That can help.
Gotcha. Perfect.
So is this the same as retargeting? Yes. So this is the same as retargeting. Targeting and retargeting is pretty much, how you use the wording. Retargeting is targeting somebody, or retargeting is targeting somebody that's already been to one of your assets, like your website, or somebody that has already liked or commented on anything that you've posted.
Exactly. I want to go back a second, Tori, and talk a bit more about the funnel. And I want to make sure people can see the overall view of this. So I think you guys understand what we're doing here with the giving the fee away and creating the value. But I want you to think about one other step in there that's kind of big. So I don't know, look at your website reports, but we get these reports that this many new people visited our website, or that many people that came on, that we get bounce rates, how long stayed on, and so forth. We get all information out there, but what doesn't really happen in HVAC or contractors in general is they basically have this big billboard out there, and that billboard is just showing what they do. Well, when you create a funnel or funnels, and don't think when your website's out there that you're just creating one thing. You can have multiple of these reports. So you could create a indoor air quality report, a report on, telling them breaking down high efficient furnaces, or how not to get rid of. You can have 5, 6 different funnels and different campaigns out there based on the different interests of your homeowners. So instead of you being the typical contractor that essentially goes out there and just has that page that people go to and leave, you can be the one in your market that actually captures the data of the homeowner. So the one person that does this, I'll tell you, when I started my business and I went out there, there's about 5 companies in Colorado that I've ever noticed that have any of these funnels, and they're all companies I work with. Nobody else has still caught on to this stuff. Even though funnels and what we call drip campaigns with those emails that email them after the fact, even though this is nothing new. I mean, this isn't like a concept that Tori just came up with 2 weeks ago. This has been around for years. you're still at the grassroots, or you're still at the very beginning stages of contractors and heating and cooling people doing that. This is going to be, 3 or 4 years from now, this is going to be an absolute must, and I think everyone's going to have one on there. So my encouragement to you is really look into this stuff, learn about it, think about those things that your homeowners have questions about. Think about how to create these reports or these videos and so forth, and get in there and get with someone that can create these funnels for you if you don't want to do it yourself, because there does take a little technical expertise there. Start doing this stuff, because you're going to be so different than anybody else out there doing this. Capture their information. Just don't let them go on your website and leave. That's what I love about funnels. And when it's just all set up to happen automatically, again, all you're going to do is get those reports. This person opted in for your report. That person opted in for your report. And you're going to see them go into all the little different campaigns. And you just know there, okay, that person went out there and found me. They downloaded my report, and now they're in my sequence. I think Tori and I have some sequences out there that go on for 4 months. So if those people, reach out to one of my customers that I work with, and they want a report, they're going to be hearing from us 3.5 months later. So think about that customer that in February, out here in Colorado where it's cold, February, they might start shopping for an air conditioner. They're thinking, I got to get the air conditioner this year. This piece of crap has been here forever. I'm sick of the high bills. I know these things are more efficient. So they go on a website and they download that report on whatever it is. Say it's an air conditioner. And then every week they're getting that email going out. By the time they go actually call someone to give that quote, guess what? We're so front of mind because we've contacted them, and because this can go on for months. And when we're the one that's constantly doing that, so they've gone on 4 different heating and cooling customers' websites. 3 of them are totally ignoring them. 1 captures their information and then keeps sending emails to them. I think you guys might look a lot different if that's the way you do stuff. It is a game changer when you guys do this stuff for either you can put this on your social media or you can put it on your website. I don't want to go overboard, but that is how big these things can basically be. You'll just get customers down the line going, yeah, you've been sending me emails for 3 months and I'm finally ready to get that quote on an air conditioner. Now it pays off, because that person wasn't looking to buy that day, but they in the future, and you're the one that's kept in with them. So that's basically the idea of funnels. Just get them out there, capture their information, and just keep giving them value. And you will break through, and you'll be the one that they're going to pick when they get that job done.
And because you've been giving them so much value, it makes it that you don't really have to sell them as hard. You don't have to prove yourself, because they already know and like you. And so you might think like, well, I don't want to go through this type of trouble, but what you're building is an asset. And so once you set up that funnel, it can run and run and run. It can run for years, and you don't even have to think about it. And you can just keep getting people into that. And you're going to be contacting people so much more than any of the other HVAC companies. So when you have one of these freebies, the report or the video series or whatever it is that you decide, you want to take that asset and put that everywhere. So you do want to put that on your Facebook page and your LinkedIn and on your website. But somebody I know the other day was saying that, like, one of the websites that they got so many referrals from, all of those types of websites, whether it's Yelp or Angie's List or anything, they let you put descriptions and things like that, links out. So on all of those websites as well, you can put where you have a service or you have anything, you can put a link to whatever it is your freebie is as well. And I know that other people aren't doing this. So if you can catch people and deliver them value that soon in the whole entire process and get them on your mailing list and then start to email them every week, it's going to be way beyond what anybody else is doing, and it's going to make you more of the obvious choice. And that's what we want to do. And that's what all of this is about, is making you the obvious choice when they are ready, because you've delivered so much value to them. And you're not just out there, hey, I've been in business 50 years. Hey, I'm so great. Hey, I'm family owned, because that's all anybody else is saying. They're not doing this.
Very well said. And the free information we talked about, say you're connecting with real estate agents through LinkedIn. We talked about giving them a piece of information after you connect with them. So you connect with them, and then you know, hey, thanks for taking my LinkedIn connection, appreciate it. A couple days later, you can send them that article off Feedly, or you can send them your valuable thing, the best, you know, something that helps real estate agents. And as soon as they go in there, you can get them into your funnel that way. That's another way you can use an informational offer to get them in.
And so you're not actually physically sending them this PDF either. All of this is automated. Once they put their email in there, how like the software works for things, and it's, you know, there's different ways to do it. You're not having to send this. Like, they put in their email, and then how you have your email sequence set up, the email sends them the PDF. So it's very hands off for you. There's some maintenance and like some small things in there, but once you get this set up, it is an asset that can keep working for you a little bit hands off. It's pretty amazing.
They're awesome. I love them. That's the first thing I always set up for clients. Love that stuff. So do we have, I don't see any more questions in the chat. We still got a few minutes here of our time. If you guys do have any questions, is there anybody that wants to unmute and ask Tori a question on anything we talked about, or what I talked about earlier, connecting with them online, how to create ads like that, how to, you know, any questions about a funnel or any of these campaigns we talked about?
I do.
George, you're always good for a question. I love this.
Absolutely.
Have you had any experience with the app called Nextdoor? We get a lot of referrals out of Nextdoor, and they also have a business page. But I was just wondering how you could utilize that.
So Nextdoor allows you to make posts. You also have your own page on there. So where you're giving information about your business, you can put whatever your free guide or your free video series, put that stuff out there. And then you can also put it as a post that you're just offering free information out to people. So if yours was, and you can do these things timely so that you're not always posting the same things. So like in the fall, you know, once that started happening, you could do like fall, how to reduce your energy bills in the fall. And so you could post that on Nextdoor, and then the link would just send people to your landing page. And then again, that's another way that they're going to start getting those email sequences for you. And so you'll be the one that's, rather than like, hey, buy my thing, you're the one out there offering value. And so that's an excellent, Nextdoor is another one that's, it's a great way to get in front of a lot of people. And if you're the one giving value, then, you know, you're going to be a standout there.
Yeah, I'll have to look at that, because if you post stuff in your personal feed, the leads can take it down. They can report it.
Even
because
if you're
I happen, unfortunately, I'm a lead in my neighborhood. I don't know how the hell that happened, but anyway. But we have to take them down.
Even if somebody's offering just things that are valuable, not a sale. George, even if somebody's offering just like information and value, if they're not offering something specifically for sale, do you have to take it down?
Yes, it's not within their guidelines. That actually has to go into their little ad section, which is free.
Okay, yep.
But on the business page, I was just curious how, I don't even know if you can link out of it. You know, there's very little that I can find on it, but it's a powerful little app. I mean, we get a lot out of it. I would like to be able to utilize it more.
You know, and I the last neighborhood that I lived in, we ended up being a lead. We were like the one that started the one in the neighborhood. So we were really active in it. And I actually, since we've moved, we haven't been as active in it. So I'll have to go in there and poke around and see if I can figure out how you could work this in there. Because I didn't realize that they would, like, if you put it in the regular feed, you get kicked out. So we definitely don't want to do that. But no, figuring out what the rules are and then how you can work with those, I can definitely look into that.
That'd be cool. It's interesting information.
I wouldn't see why care if you put it on your page on Nextdoor, would you? I mean, isn't that kind of about you anyways?
Well, what happens is if somebody sees it and thinks that this should be in an ad, let's say I posted it on my personal, and they think that it should be in an ad somewhere, they report it, and then it goes out to several leads, and several leads vote on it. And if it's voted that it should be removed, then it's removed. That's how it works.
So so you're not really kicked out, they just remove your post?
Correct. No, I misspoke. They don't kick me out of it.
Might be an interesting test to put nothing on there salesy at all. Just post something like, I don't know, just something like we said, ways you can save on all of your utilities, and just put it in there. Because if you're not being salesy, I don't see why anyone would get mad about it. You're just posting a helpful tip for your neighborhood in the form of a PDF that they can download.
And this might be a good place where you could make a video too, because if you just shared a YouTube link and sent there's a cool video on, lowering your energy rates, that might be a way to get around it too. Might be something that you have to play with to make sure that you're coming from a value place and not being salesy. So that could be an option as well.
Good deal. Good question, George. Appreciate it. Does anybody else have any questions on here? They want to unmute and ask a question?
Kevin, you have a question? Kevin, you have to show us your
Yeah, I was going to ask. Can you see me now?
Yeah.
I'm in the truck. I just pulled over for a minute. But I know he was going on the next door thing, and because we do get a lot of referrals from that as well. But with the business page, it's like somebody else already made us a business page on Nextdoor, and can't really access it. He may have better answers to it as well. It's kind of hard to figure out who to contact and how to get access to that page.
If you go to your personal profile on Nextdoor, in the upper right hand corner, you're going to see your personal icon, or whatever it is they call it. You select on that, and then you select your business at that point.
Okay. Yeah, because I was trying to figure it out. I was getting lost in it. So
yeah, it's in the upper right hand corner.
Do you think that the people that are being referred to on Nextdoor, are they going to your website at all, or are they calling you direct?
I don't know. Never asked.
So if you have the analytics from your website, you can actually find out, if you have Google Analytics on there, you can actually find out where all the traffic is coming from that's going onto your website. Google Analytics is completely free. It's just like the Pixel. It's just a piece of code that you put on your website. And that might be an interesting thing to find out if people are actually clicking through and going to your website from there. Because then again, if you put this freebie or things like that in the Pixel on your website, and so many people are coming from Nextdoor, you want to make sure that you have something so that those people that are just shopping, maybe you can grab their email, or you pixel them so that you can market to them later, or you can have them get on your email list. So that would be something. Do you know if you have Google Analytics on your website?
I'd have to check and see. I'm not sure. I know we have somebody else that does, but I'm kind of very green on that side of it. So
I would definitely ask them, and anybody that puts a website together should put that on there, and you can see exactly where all the traffic is coming onto your website. And so then you can figure out where you want to focus your efforts. It's a fantastic tool if you haven't checked it out.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions we have? Don't be shy. No, I think we're good. Good deal. So let me wrap this up for tonight. Awesome job again, Tori. I learned a lot again. So going forward, tomorrow's the last night. So we're going to talk a little bit more about offers, and we're going to tie all of this thing up, tie it all together so you can understand this whole 8 trainings. Then we're going to have a couple of special things for you, and one really special thing at the end. Now, we've been commenting in the HVAC Greatness group your takeaways every single night, and I've been recording everyone that puts a comment in there about what their biggest takeaway was. Either Pete or I. I know he's surfaced somewhere on here. I saw him pop on and off. I think he's still having technical problems. So either him or myself will post that takeaway, put that on there, and I'm keeping those. Those are all going to go into a hat or a bag. And at the end of tomorrow night's training, we're going to pull out a name of a person. They're going to get a big special from Tori and I. You do need to be on to get that special. So I'm not going to pull your name out and then post on. So you do need to be on at the end of the training to win that. If you're not on, then I'm just going to go in and I'm going to get another name until I finally get somebody that's on here. So be aware of that. So the next training is tomorrow. So go ahead and do your posts in there. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys' time. Good job again, Tori. And you can go ahead if you want, Tori, stop the recording, and we see if we have any questions when we get off here. See if anybody was too shy. Thanks, guys.